everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to Kirsty.
Sorry.
Here she. Oh, someone's just popped up in between us. Who could this be?
Hey.
Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. Sorry, I don't know podcast etiquette because I've never been on a podcast, so I'm just jumping in.
Sarah's first podcast. Oh my
and
god.
And
last. Never coming back.
Nope.
Going to be blacklisted throughout the podcast community from now on.
Not even just on this one, on all of them.
Yep.
That's how good this is going to go. Yay.
Well, you've set low expectations, so it'll only be better?
Yeah.
Question mark?
I hope.
Welcome to the podcast. We have very low expectations.
For ourselves and each other.
Bring them right down right now.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to Kirsty and Bridie's Comfort Zone.
Welcome.
Who are you?
Me? I'm Kirsty.
Yeah.
Hello.
So I must be Bridie.
That's right.
And this is the lovely Sarah Yogtok that is joining us today. We are very blessed.
We are.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you
for being here.
What a pleasure.
And
It's a dream come true.
spoilers, now we know what your dream is.
I know. Shit, I just thought of that as soon as I said it. Oh, can I swear? Is that allowed?
Yeah. You can swear you like. I do.
Kirsty does all the time.
Oh dear.
It's a very different energy to this episode.
No, never.
Never.
Just like normal.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is do you have like a comforting nighttime routine?
Oh.
How do you slip into the honk shoe Mimi, or do you just jump into bed and hope for the best?
Gosh golly. Well, I think... Well, Bridie, what a great question. Thanks for asking. I would say it's either one of two things. The one way is, like I like to take a nighttime shower and get all warm and cozy, especially these days when it's so disgustingly cold and dark outside by like 4:34 p.m. And so get all cozy, get into the bed, watch a little YouTube, watch a little TikTok.
Watch a little YouTube.
Yeah, do all of that. And then, peter off. But honestly, the other half of the time, it's like I'm on my couch, I'm watching TV, and then I fall asleep, and I wake up, and it's like 3:32 in the morning, and my crusty contacts are still in my eyes.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, where am I? What dimension am I in? And then I just like saunter to the bathroom, and I peel them off my corneas, and then I just like fall into bed. And that's my really graceful and aesthetic nighttime routine some of the time. I try not to, but I just get a little bit sleepy a little bit too early.
Yeah.
There is something really like frustratingly comfortable about the sofa sometimes.
It really is. It's like being in a car when it's driving. It's just lovely.
Well, hopefully when you're not driving.
No, when you
like being in a car when I'm driving.
Yeah.
So it just
sends me right off the whole time.
That's funny.
Last year when I was having like really bad anxiety and it was causing me to have a lot of trouble sleeping, but only when I was like in bed. So my routine for that became to fall asleep on the sofa and then wake up and just really quickly run into bed as if I could trick myself into being like, I'm still on the sofa.
Yeah, and try to keep your eyes a little bit closed and not bring in the light too much. You know? Try not to get yourself too acclimated to the waking world. Yeah.
And there's also that gamble of like, do you brush your teeth? Because sometimes brushing my teeth wakes me up. But if you go into bed without brushing your teeth, it can feel really like,
gross and icky.
Yeah. Especially the next morning. It's gross.
Yeah. Did that work, Bridie?
Mouth cave. Sometimes it did. I would have to watch like something that I found the right level of trash on TV to lull me into sleep. I started watching, what is the name of the show? It's an American TV show.
Oh.
And it takes place in like a big shop.
Oh, Superstore?
Yes.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
I would watch that, and that was like the right level of cozy, but I'm not too invested. And like when I say trash, I mean like good trash. like, don't mean that in a bad way at all, just like, you know, the right level of like trashy TV.
Oh, yeah.
But then, and it worked perfectly, it would like lull me into sleep. I'd be really cozy. And then one episode just got me like hooked. And then I started watching it and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
I need to find a new TV show to fall asleep to now.
Yeah, because you're invested.
TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My,
too
my.
good. But yeah, thankfully, my sleep pattern is a lot better now. I don't have to. But then that being said, I was telling Kirsty, I had a big sofa nap yesterday because I had to like drop the bunnies off at the vet and then I just walked around town doing Christmas shopping for hours, then went into the office and streamed, then went out for a meal and socialized. And by the time I got home, I was just like, I'm so run out now. I just got sleep left in me.
Yeah, but then it sounds like bedtime because it's late enough after dinner. Like, why not?
True.
I was saying to Bryony that yesterday I had to go out in the morning to pick up my new glasses, and when I got home at like 2 p.m. I was like, right, now I'm ready for bed.
Literally, because basically the sun is down, right? That's the thing too.
It just gets so dark, yeah. It's just like, well, time to sleep. Off I go.
Absolutely.
It's like, because when I'm in the office at the moment and doing the stream that's like 2 till 5, and so I come in and it's lovely light sunshine, it's lunchtime and it's like, woo, and then you come out and it's just night.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
I know.
It really hits once the clock's changed, doesn't it? It just makes you feel so much more sleepy and
ready to hibernate.
Yeah.
And it eats up the day too, which is nice. You know, it makes things pass by nice and briskly. But then it's like, oh, we go from just about lunchtime to like, all right, it's the dead of night now these days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, my, oh my.
Is it sort of the same? I guess it must be quite different depending where you are in America, right? Because I guess depending how high up or low down you are.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it like that?
Days.
Like back home for you?
Teach us about America.
Tell us about America.
I will teach you about America. So it's actually like where I'm from, up in like the Northeast. It does, you know, the sun does go down quite early in the winter, but I think England, because it's so high up in the Northern Hemisphere, it's pretty extreme here, where it's like when it gets to the worst of the worst in December, the sun will be setting at like 3:50.
Yeah.
Which I think is unbelievable. Like it will never get that bad in the US. Maybe like 4:45, from what I can remember. Maybe I'm like exaggerating, but it feels like it's always around 5 o'clock when it's even at its worst. But here it's like an hour worse than that. And I'm like, wow, what was I thinking? No. Just kidding.
What am I doing here?
How did I get here in this eternal darkness? No. No.
It's the worst as well when you're at work, isn't it? Because you go in when it's dark and you come out and it's dark again, and it's just like...
Yeah, and it feels like the entire day is gone.
Yeah, that's another day gone.
Literally.
Can't wait to wake up tomorrow when it's pitch black as well.
Yeah, but I mean, silver linings, like at least it doesn't get... It's certainly cold out now, but it doesn't get like mega cold.
Yeah,
like,
it's not awful yet.
Yeah, like I don't know... Oh God, I'm not sure in Celsius, but I think it would be in like the extreme negatives, because it gets to like 0 degrees Fahrenheit.
Are you plugging other podcasts right now?
No, it gets to 0 degrees pregnant pause Fahrenheit.
You just have to yomp through the snow.
You just have real peculiar portions of snow, you know, that are scattered about.
If only I had a pickaxe, am I right?
If I had a pitch, please. What? If only I had that. But all this to say, it doesn't get us cold here, so that's nice. I miss the snow, but, you know, that also can be kind of a pain when you're trying to, like, walk places on sidewalks.
True. Yeah. I love the sound of snow, though.
Yeah, I love snow.
The sound?
A little crunch.
Yeah, I thought you meant when it's falling. I was like, snow doesn't make no noise.
I have very acute hearing.
Yeah.
When it's snowing at night, like the silence is really lovely. There's something magical about snow falling in silence.
Just the way it like eats the sound.
Yeah. Ooh, I do like that.
I do like that.
Jinx, you owe me a soda. Some time. I do like that. No, I agree.
If you had to stay for a month in one of those places when it was either always night or always day, which would you choose?
Yeah, which would you pick?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. Because obviously it's like, well, I mean, duh. Like the easy answer is a little bit of both because that's how you live your life because you want to sleep when it's dark out and live when it's light out. But I think it would become like very frustrating to not be able to sleep like cocooned in darkness.
Yeah.
Because that's where you recharge. Like that's where you get all your, ducks in a row ready for the next day. And then if you wake up and you feel like unfulfilled, that's just like torture. But then, what's the alternative? Depression.
Yes.
I don't know. I think probably sun all the time, but then the cop-out is like heavy curtains.
Yeah, that's what I
think
would
that's
go
generally
for.
how they go. I think I would go for darkness all the time, to be honest.
See, that's surprising. Like Alex said he would go for darkness all the time when we were talking about this, as we often do.
Okay.
I was like, why? Like, then you don't have any... I feel like daylight bulbs just don't cut it for me.
No, I don't
But
think
blackout
so.
curtains might.
I don't see the sunlight anyway. I'm a gamer.
That's true.
It's like living underground in a cave.
Exactly. Just like real life.
Gamer cave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess a day always final answer. But only for 1 month, not for all of life and time. Please.
I don't really know how long it lasts for when it happens. Is it like 3 months or something?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
because it is real.
It is real, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
I forgot. I was like,
Scandinavia. It's a real place.
oh, God, I forgot completely about it. Jeez. Well, yeah, I don't know for how long it lasts for. I think there's some places it's like most of the year, one way or the other.
Yeah, like the real extremes, definitely.
Yeah. Sucks.
Sucks.
Just
If you're
kidding.
listening
Who
from
would,
there.
who would live there?
Sorry. We
Sorry.
hope you're doing okay.
Gosh, I'm offering my apologies to all of Scandinavia. I'm so sorry if I've offended you. Apologies. I didn't mean it. I was just joking.
I can't think
meant
of where
to.
it actually does happen. Is it like...
Greenland?
No, it doesn't happen in Iceland.
It does in
it?
Iceland,
No.
yeah. Not like constantly, but it is a thing in Iceland for sure. Because I've like looked into like going to Reykjavik before, and they've said like, oh, this time of the year it's daytime all the time. Just so you're
Yeah.
aware.
Yeah, like on your EasyJet booking. It's
Yeah.
like, do you want to come during the daylight times? Are you sure?
Please bear in mind you won't be able to sleep ever.
You won't be able to escape the sun. Yeah.
But yeah, I
and
think I would
for
go for nighttime
anyone-
forever.
Who's listening and very angry. That was a separate thing. I know that Iceland isn't in Scandinavia. I can feel the
Yo,
comments
yes.
writing themselves.
Yes. Goodness. No, we know our
Never.
geographies. We
The
know they're
Comfort Zone
different.
audience would never.
Are they very nice, your
They're
comments?
very nice.
They're very lovely. We're very
Wonderful.
blessed. So
Lovely.
you're in safe hands, comforting hands.
A zone of comfort.
Yeah, if
Could
you
say
will.
that,
Sick. Sick, dude.
yeah. See.
So we have heard how you get into your Hongshu Mimi, but
Right.
now we need to find out what happens whilst that is going on.
Exactly. This
Okay.
is why you're here. We need to know all the gossip.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
just get us right on in there. Just plunder us in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
yeah, I'll plunder you right in there in my brain crevices and crannies.
Get your toes in.
Yeah.
Those-
No. Toes in my brain?
Get those toes
Yep.
in your brain.
Toes in my ears? Touch my brain? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. What I was going to say is, like, I feel like I very infrequently remember my dreams.
Yeah.
Like, night to night, I can wake up and be like, oh, yeah, I dreamed. And, like, sit in it for a second. And then it just, like, disappears away, whistles on the wind. And I know for a long time you guys were like, oh, go on podcast. I was like, oh, my God, yes, please. And then I don't even remember to write shit down. I was like, I would have to, like, write a piece of paper and put it on my chest as I sleep to remember to write things down. Because it just, like, I forgot all the time. And yeah, but then I know, like, in ambiguous terms, there's a lot of, like, chases. Often I'm running away from things, disaster. Usually it's like big, large-scale disaster, like apocalypses or aliens invasions or like crashing into another sun. You know, really nice, pleasant dreams. Really happy dreams.
When you're running in dreams, are you able to run? Because I always get the like running through jelly running when I run.
The slow running.
I think I'm running fast, but often it's like sometimes I can't react. Like I know some people have very like clear dreams where they're like, and then I decided to do this. And I'm like, I feel like most of the time it's just kind of happening to me. But the one that slows me down is I sometimes feel like when you're very, very tired and you're struggling to open your eyes, like that will happen in my dream. I'm like, I can't keep my eyes open. Like I feel like so tired. So what does that mean? What does your book say about that?
Well, I looked up chased.
Okay.
And it says, dreaming of being chased or trying to escape is perhaps one of the most common dreams.
Ooh.
Usually we are trying to escape responsibility, our own sense of failure, fear, or emotions we cannot handle.
Damn, that's not good.
Too real.
God, this is just awkward.
So now we just have to think about what in your life is represented by aliens in the apocalypse.
Goodness.
And is it the British?
British? Why? What leads you to that conclusion?
Because Sting had that song, I'm a Legal Alien. I'm an Englishman in New York.
In New York.
New York.
In New York. Oh. No, I'm the opposite. Because I've lived in New York, but now I'm in England. So
But maybe you feel like you've come over here and you're just surrounded by aliens. You're trying to run back.
Maybe. Oh, interesting. But I've had these dreams for a long time, so unfortunately that cannot be the answer. It precludes. Is that the word? My personal British invasion. British invasions. Yeah. So we'll have to go deeper.
So would you say that this is like? I mean, it sounds like a stress dream, to be honest. You say this is a stress dream that you've just kind of had always, just being chased by stuff?
I think so, like, in different iterations, definitely. Like, I don't know, I remember one where there was, like, an invasion, and I was just, like, running away from stuff. I don't know, I feel like I can remember, like, shapes of what it looked like, but I don't know how to explain it.
No, that makes sense. It's like, do you wake up like with an alarm every morning? I imagine you do.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Alarms I find that they just completely knock the dreams out of your brain. Like as soon as the alarm goes off, it's just like, I was dreaming about something, but I have no idea. All I can hear is beeping now. And so like when I worked full time, I didn't remember. I say when I worked full time, when I wasn't a streamer who does not work full time. I barely dreamed, and I probably did, but I just don't remember dreaming because every morning the alarm would go off and then the dreams would be gone forever.
Gosh, that is probably it, yeah.
It's to do with what, like, type of sleep you're having, because if you're woken up from a certain type of sleep, then that isn't the part that you dream in. But I can't remember which one. I think 72 episodes in, and we keep forgetting which way around dreams
You're
work.
in the lighter sleep, I think. Like, when you're in really deep sleep, you probably, I mean, you might dream, but I don't think you remember if you do. Like, that's why if you snooze an alarm and just go back to sleep, you tend to have like all of these wild dreams. Like all of mine lately have just been that. Like I come to the podcast and I'm like, I dreamt about this because I've been snoozing my alarm every day and just staying in bed.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like on days, maybe it's like a Saturday morning where you wake up naturally or by an alarm, and then you maybe do something and then you go back to sleep because you're like feeling very relaxed and there's nothing else to do. Yeah. That's when I feel like you've got the crazy dreams. It's like it feels so there. Can I remember one of them? No. It's been a while. But no, I totally agree with that. That's so interesting.
I looked it up. It says most of your dreaming occurs during REM sleep, although some can occur in non-REM sleep. Your arm and leg muscles become temporarily paralyzed, which prevents you from acting out your dreams.
Oh, that reminds me. Sleep paralysis.
Oh, have you had that?
That's happened to me.
Oh, okay.
First, I want to ask, has anyone else talked about sleep paralysis on the podcast?
We've talked about it before. Have we talked about it with
Really?
guests? I can't remember.
I have a feeling that someone maybe
I feel like we
have
have,
it.
haven't we?
I can't remember.
But I
which
don't
is
know who
very
it was.
bad.
Sorry.
But it's fine. People
That's
don't
okay.
listen after they've been on. It's fine.
Commenters, you timestamp me and I'll go back. I'll do my own research.
Yeah.
But, okay, so that I remember well. And I think there's
Ooh.
like 2 instances that I can recall.
Okay.
And so tell me what this means. The first one was, both were in university dorm rooms. And the first one was when I lived, like, I've always had, like, double rooms. Because that's how they just do it in the U.S. Or actually, the second one was when I was in a single, but this first one I was in double. And our beds were like, my bed faced the wall, but when I'm sleeping like sideways, I would look straight at the door to the hallway. And so I dream/sleep paralysis that I was awake and I couldn't move. And one of my other roommates in like our suite of rooms opened the door, so it like cast a light in from the hallway and was just standing there.
Oh my God.
And I was like, and I couldn't move. And the next morning I was like, was that real? I don't know. I don't know. And it was so spooky because I think for like a day or two I was like, oh my God, like what was she doing? Was she like, what on earth? And then I think I determined, no, I was just dreaming, but it felt like I was awake and couldn't move. And then the second one was again in a dorm, and I was like facing the wall, and I woke up, and I think it was one of those like lucid, like afternoon sleep dreams where I couldn't move, but I felt a presence behind me, like a dark, ghastly phantom presence.
Yeah.
And like, I can only describe of it as just like a dark, like phantom-y black shape. And I think I saw like a hand or something, like kind of creep in front of me. And then I woke up.
Ooh.
And then the next day, my friends who lived in the same dorm were like, oh my God, this place is haunted. We need to like exorcise you, Sarah. Not exercise, like not going around, like exorcism needed to be performed. Because I was like, yeah, sorry guys, I saw a phantom yesterday. That's why I've been out of whack. And they're like, sorry? So, yeah, those two happened. And actually, oddly enough, both of those were in the United Kingdom. So, explain that.
Well, there you go.
Explain
We
that.
do have a lot of ghosts.
Yeah,
it's
we do.
True.
Yeah. So, that's how it was. Were yours
That's
similar?
terrifying.
See,
You go first, Franny. Yours are probably
I've
a
only
lot more.
had. Well, I had like it once, and it was horrible, and I hope it never happens again. But it was one of those things that, in that weird way that dreams are, I'm not sure if I like dreamt about it happening or if it happened, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I felt that way about both of them, and I've come to the conclusion since that it was not real, but it feels extraordinarily real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had one where I was lying in like the bed that I was lying in at the time, sort of thing, which is weird for me because I never dream about being in our house. I always dream about my parents' house, or I don't even think I've dreamt about like anywhere in Bristol. It's always my parents' house. And I was lying on my side facing the side of the room that the door is on. And all of a sudden the door opens and this guy dressed as a doctor, but like a weird, like gangly guy. Like he was very like sort of like a monster pretending to be a guy. Just started slowly walking in and walking behind like me on like round the other side of the bed. So he went out of my sight and I was desperately trying to wake up. I was like squeezing my leg. I was trying to shout. I was trying to like, and I eventually did wake up, and my shouting in my dream turned into me waking up and being like, oh. It's like, oh, but it worked. I'm awake. It's fine.
Oh my goodness, that's scary.
But yeah, thankfully, touch wood, it's not happened since, because I was like, I did not like that. Thank you very much, brain.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Horrible.
Never again.
Goodness.
Well, mine was Mine wasn't that intense. I don't even know if it really counts as sleep paralysis, to be honest. But it was just when I was a kid. I've said this before on the podcast, but I was lying in bed. I woke up in the middle of the night, and all around my room I could see shadows of like just classic ghost shapes. You know, it was kind of like a mix of like the shape of someone wearing a spooky ghost sheet and like the Ghostface from Scream, because I was scared of Ghostface when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was frozen like in bed. I couldn't move. And I was just, if I would look out into the room, I would just see this shape like floating around and it wouldn't go away. Like I closed my eyes, it was still there. I would open them, it would still be there, and it just was constant. The first time it happened, I think I just fell back to sleep. But the second time, I was brave enough to reach for my TV remote and turn my TV on so that I had a light, and then they disappeared. So
Whoa.
I don't know if it was sleep paralysis or just a bad dream, or maybe there were spooky shadows in my bedroom. I don't know.
Maybe we were just haunted.
Maybe it's real. Maybe
Maybe.
Ghostface was there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But
It
my
reminds me,
mum, I remember my mum telling me, I'm sorry, Brian, do you want to go?
No, you go.
No, okay. I remember my mum telling me that when I was a baby, she remembers waking up to a man standing over my crib.
What?
And she was always just like, yeah, that was a ghost. Like, she didn't... But, I mean, it may well have been sleep paralysis. You know?
Oh my God. Or a real man
Or
tried
a
to
real
thieve
man.
you in the night.
Yeah, maybe.
Gosh. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. So what does sleep paralysis mean then in the dream book?
Oh, do you know, we've never actually tried to look it up.
I don't know if sleep paralysis is even in there, is it? I
Oh my
don't really know.
gosh.
But,
What about like dreaming? So dreams that feel like real life, like two levels of dream. Like you wake up from dream and you're still in dream, like Matrix dream, perhaps.
like Inception. A dream
And
within a dream.
That's more so what I meant. That's actually exactly what I was thinking of. I was like, yes, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Matrix.
In the Matrix, yes.
Matrix is Leonardo.
There is actually a section on paralysis, but it's dreaming of paralysis. But I'll check it anyway. It says, when paralysis is felt in a dream, we are probably experiencing great fear or suppression.
That sounds
Feelings
right.
that are emotionally based are experienced as paralysis in order to highlight the physical effect those feelings can have.
Emotions that are based.
Based emotions. Based and dream pilled.
Yeah.
It also says, imagination can often play tricks on us and we experience as real some kind of reaction we would not normally allow ourselves. Paralysis is one such reaction.
Oh.
Paralysis can signify spiritual inadequacy, inability to create movement or inertia.
Well, there we
So
go.
there you go.
Terrifying.
What? Spiritual inadequacy? That's not very nice.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
Sometimes the book is very mean and the rest of the time it just says it's penises.
Yeah.
Really?
It's got two emotions, this book, pretty much.
Yeah.
What was a penis one?
Kirsty had a dream about guns the other
I
week.
did, yeah. Turns out
And that was
guns
just
mean
like,
penis.
Yeah. It was like, oh, it's a symbol of male sexuality.
Oh, right.
I'm
Violent
pretty sure it just
sexuality.
means gun, but sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, one more one was the other night I dreamed, and this is all I can remember, and there was much more to it, but I was in a tent, and there was other people who were with me in tents on a cliffside.
It's pretty intense.
It was super, super intense. And we were all in there, like we were moving in, but I don't know why. And then I was thinking I'm scared to sleep in this tent because I think it's going to roll off the cliff. And then everyone was like, okay, they settled in and they got out of their tents. And then they went to run an errand, like at Target or something. And they left without me. And then I was like, oh, guys, wait up. But they didn't. And I couldn't catch up. And then that was it. What does that mean?
Oh.
What should
Got
I mean?
left in your tent.
I got left, on the side of a cliff by a row of tents. Super intense tent.
So it says tent. A tent in a dream would suggest that we feel we are on the move and not able to settle down and put down roots. Anywhere we settle is only going to be temporary. Are you thinking of leaving us?
Is it temporary? No, I'm not. I was left, but I wanted to stay in the dream. So that's interesting. Or maybe I wanted to go with. I thought if maybe the tent. Yeah. Or penis.
Oh, penis.
The tent represents the. No, it says abandoned. Similar to the sense of being rejected, this represents a sense of how we experience not being wanted when we were young.
Oh, okay, book. Projecting. Maybe the book wasn't wanted when they were young.
Oh,
that's sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sad.
Well, that's
it
interesting.
Says, this may not actually be how it was, but our feelings give us that perception. For instance, a child having to go into hospital may have recurring dreams in adulthood of being abandoned.
Aww.
Oh.
Gosh. Sad.
Sorry.
Please, book.
Man, oh man.
Oh man.
I feel like this is like, it's unlocking my dreams because I keep thinking of more when you guys mention things. Another one that I've had that's happened more than once is like I'm in an elevator, but the elevator goes up really, really high. Like it just keeps going up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fall out of the elevator. Like it feels like there's no wall. Like it goes up beyond the roof to like a special platform and like the walls go away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to fall out of the elevator. And then I get to the tip top and I'm like, I didn't want to go here. Go back down. And then I go back down. What's that mean?
Oh my God.
Have you ever had a nice dream?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't think I remember the nice. I mean, I'm sure I have because I feel like I know the feeling of waking up and being like, oh, I want to go back to that. Mm-hmm. But more often than not, it's like, oh, I just remember two more. It's either the reoccurring one where because I've done like a little bit of theater, and so I'm like about to go on for a play, but I'm like, I don't know my lines at all. Like, I never learned them,
the worst, yeah.
But I'm expected to take part. That's happened more than once. Or
I've had dreams like that, yeah.
Oh, my gosh,
I'm not even a theatre kid. I would never... But I've still had dreams just like that.
Yeah, goodness.
Which makes them even more stressful.
Yeah, oh my God, that must be the worst.
Like, who put me in this? I don't want to do this.
Goodness gracious. Or the other one is, I think one time in uni, I slept through French class. And so now I constantly, well, maybe not constantly, but quite often have the dream where I'm like, oh my gosh, French was in my schedule the whole semester and I never
didn't go
went.
once.
Yeah, I can't remember. Like, did I decide to just stop going? Like, it was just too early in the morning? Like, what? And I'm like, the exam is coming up. I'm going to get a total failure. And that one feels really real. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm not in French class.
This is like a common thing with like Kirsty dreams about school a lot more than I do. But for you, it's always art class, isn't it? And for me, it's always
English and history, which were my A-levels.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Whereas for me, so many times I have dreams about like, oh my gosh, I was meant to go to this class and I've been enrolled in school this entire time and I should be going in. I've missed so many lessons and all this stuff. And then I wake up and I'm just like, I'm in my 30s, it's fine.
Literally. Exactly. That's how I'm like, oh my God, I'm so behind. Like, this is so embarrassing. But yeah.
Yeah, I have that. I have school dreams so often. And it's always that I have homework due or I've had a project the whole year that I was supposed to have been working on, but I forgot about it until the last minute. So I'm just rushing, trying to get all of this work done.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that constantly. That's my stress dream. We all have like, well, I say we all, me and Bryony, and a lot of people that come on as well have specific stress dreams that they have all the time. And yours seems to be getting chased by things or being in like precarious places as well, like a tent on the edge of a cliff and an elevator that's really high up. I think
I'm afraid of heights. That's why.
Oh, that'll be it. Yeah.
Well, I think also like I would think like how long ago was the tent one?
Oh, that's like in the past week.
Because I would think that obviously like coming up, you've got like Jingle Jam planning and stuff. And I think that must give you a feeling, however prepared you feel, it's a change. And I think it's like the floor sort of shifting beneath you because your usual routine is suddenly like mixed up. So I wonder if it would be something to do with that, because obviously tents, like it said, are temporary. Jingle Jam's only 2 weeks, but it's still like you're home for those 2 weeks sort of thing. So I wonder if it's something to do with that. But we're not going to abandon you.
We're not
during
going to
that time at all.
Oh, thanks, guys. Well, that sounds very profound, and maybe that is the case, because it is, lot is going on, and it is different than normal. So
This is our usual
quite
approaches. What are we secretly stressed about? Oh, it's that thing. Yep, it's that.
Yep, that was it. That's pretty much how it tends to go. It's just, I've been thinking about this. That's why I dreamt it. Oh, no.
Like, oh man, I've just been thinking about penis.
I've just been thinking about penis nonstop.
And now I'm dreaming about guns.
Literally, I've dreamt about trains, I've dreamt about guns, I've dreamt about, what else have I dreamt about? There's been penis shaped
Sausages.
Trains is guns.
sausages.
Wow, sausages, that makes sense.
Trains.
Wait, no, trains isn't guns. Trains is
Trains
penis.
is guns. Trains is penis.
Yeah.
Ah, of course. I mean, I don't know.
They specifically go through tunnels, and that's penis going into the hoo-hoo.
Oh my god. Who wrote this book?
I don't know.
What's her name? Pamela something. Pamela Pam.
Fucking Pamela. She just loves
forgotten that.
dick.
Yeah, clearly. My goodness.
I looked up lift.
Right?
Oh, yes.
A lift often represents a A lift usually indicates how we deal with information. For instance, going up in a lift would be moving towards the spiritual. So you're ready to ascend, is what
I'm
it
ready
means.
to go to
You're just
heaven.
Off
just
she goes.
moving up towards being a little angel.
Goodness. Thanks. But when I get to the up there, it's like the wind is swirling and it feels like very precarious, and I feel like I'm gonna fall, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have gone up this high, and then I want to go back down.
Oh my gosh, you're
So saying I
think you're
deserve to be in
right
hell.
you're
no.
Icarus. You're
flying
just
too
got
high.
too high.
Yeah, maybe so. I got too high. What's that? What does that say in the book?
Let me see.
Stoned.
I think you're right that your fear of heights is contributing to it, though, for sure.
Yeah, because our brains have this lovely way of being like, what are you
you're
scared
stressed?
of?
Here's something
Let's,
that will
think
stress you out
about
even
that.
more.
It's like I saw this thing earlier. Tom Scott had released a video called "All the Mistakes I've Made Between 2014 and 2023," and someone had just captioned it, "Me when I'm trying to sleep at night."
Oh my gosh! Wait, I think I saw that tweet. That's funny. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, that's a fun question. What is your guys' go-to when of like pre-dreamland, like fun scenarios when you're trying to fall asleep? Like, do you put yourself in fun little scenarios ever?
Oh, yeah.
I have to do the exact opposite. I have to listen to stories, because if I start thinking, I will lie awake thinking until the morning and then just have to get up. So I have to very much not think of anything. Otherwise, I will just lie awake.
I think about D&D all the time. That's how I go to sleep. I think about what happened in the last session and I just ruminate.
Yeah. I think of like fun scenarios. Like, ooh, if I lived in a mansion, what would it look like?
I used to, before I ever started playing D&D, because that's just all I think about now, I would picture myself in a completely blank space, usually just like a white room. And I would try and imagine myself just like floating in the middle of this white room. And that would help me to just clear all other thoughts out of my head. And it's like, just keep floating, keep picturing the white room. And if anything else tried to intrude, it would be like, nope, get out of the white room, just keep thinking about floating. And eventually I would fall asleep. It was actually quite good.
Wow.
Just helping me to concentrate on falling asleep. But another thing I used to do, which I don't know where I first heard it, but maybe it was just one of those like recordings that you use to fall asleep, but you picture yourself somewhere that's really comforting. So like, you know, your parents' old house or something like
On
that.
this podcast.
On this podcast.
Because this is the zone.
Exactly. The zone full of comfort.
Yeah.
And you picture a giant balloon and everything that you're worried about, you put it into the balloon and then you just throw it away and let it float off. And then you're left with all the nice feelings. And then you just fall asleep like, my stress balloon is gone.
That's nice. I should try that.
It's pretty good. It works.
That is lovely. That makes me think of another question to ask, which is, do you guys have a particular like feeling or sensation that lets you know that you're falling asleep? Because for me, it's when I start to feel like a giant looking down on something very little. Like maybe not visually, but I feel like that feeling of like, I don't know, I can't even explain it, but I can like summon it when I close my eyes right now. Like I feel very big and something like looking at something very small. That's how I'm like, okay, I'm going to fall asleep.
That's
For me, it's like the feeling of like if you're in the sea and all of a sudden like you've got waves that are sort of lapping at you, but then all of a sudden one just goes above your ears and you just have that feeling of like slightly being submerged.
Ooh.
That is for me
I
the
feel
feeling of
that.
like, oh, I'm nodding off now. Like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's
cool.
kind of like I'm no longer aware of the fact I'm just staring at the back of my eyelids. I just sort of forget where I am. That's when I know that I'm falling asleep.
Yeah. Whoa, that's cool. That's really cool.
I have a question for you, which
Okay.
we ask all of our guests. Do you dream in first person or third person? Or a combination of the two?
Oh my goodness. I think I dream in first person. I cannot recall ever having dreamt in third person. Like, I feel like I would remember, I mean, even though I do just struggle to remember them, I feel like I would remember that sensation.
Yeah.
And that feels strange. One thing though, because it's like, I feel like it's strange to think about looking down upon oneself. But I do quite often feel like it's not me that's like living the experience. It's like, I recognize this as my house, but it's like not my house. Or like, I'm from here, but like, no, I'm not. And that feels like me being in somebody else. So I don't know. What does that mean? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it answers my question. Mainly because Bryony generally dreams in first person. I dream in third person.
Oh, so do you see, is it like video game where you see the back of your head walking along?
Not quite. It's more like just watching a movie. Like, sometimes it's framed differently. It's not like I'm just behind myself. It's just, I'm just watching everything happen. And
That's
I might be
interesting.
there being a part of it at the same time.
Whoa.
I don't recall really ever dreaming in first person.
Gosh,
Which is
that's
really
so
weird
interesting.
because most people do say that they dream in first person when we ask them.
I've had some third person dreams, but then sometimes I have dreams where I'm not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I think those ones weirdly tend to be third person, but I feel like I'm more one of the people I'm watching than the other, if that makes sense. Like one person is the main character of the dream.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Do you
Absolutely.
find it weird when people have dreams about you? Like, would you rather not know, or do you like knowing about them?
Oh, that's nice. I don't know. I feel like it's fun to hear about, and it's because it's fun to know someone's been thinking about you. Like, usually people don't dream about, like, acquaintances. So it's like, oh, you dreamed about me. That's nice. Unless it's like, yeah, I dreamed you died in a meat grinder. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, dear.
Sick, dude. Thanks for thinking about me.
I literally messaged my brother the other day, like, are you okay? I dreamt you died.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, yeah, I'm fine.
It's like me with Bree when I had that dream that Bree died. And,
Yeah, and Silas, right?
well,
No.
it was that in the Bree dream, I woke up in the dream and I was talking to Alex and Rydian, I think. And I was saying like, oh my gosh, I had this really horrible dream that Bree died. And in that dream, they were like, no, that
he
really
did.
happened. That's real. So I had two layers of like, oh my gosh, this has actually happened. I can't believe it. And then I woke up and I was just like, I don't know what to think anymore. And I messaged Bree straight away, just like, are you okay? And because of his blooming gamer hours, he didn't reply until like 2 p.m. And I was just like,
no.
I need to know you're okay.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I actually had a similar dream where I felt very, very upset. I don't know if I told you about this. I may have, because I was like, I can't remember most of my dreams, but this one I remember well, and I'm remembering it now. I was just like talking to someone, and they got like a little like alert on their phone. You know how you get like the BBC News alerts when something really like important happens?
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and it said like actress Emma Stone has died. And I was like, oh my God, Emma Stone. I was like, no, America's sweetheart, Emma Stone, Oscar winner. She cannot die. And I felt so real that she had died. And when I woke up, I Googled it, but she was alive. Thank God.
See, I feel like there was a certain year. Oh, what year was it? The year that maybe like Heath Ledger died or something. And there were just so many like big, like formative year actors and personalities and stuff that year that I think
That just
died. Did it got to the
yeah.
point where
I remember that year, like it was just one after the other. They were just dropping like flies, and it was like, what is happening?
Oh my
But
goodness.
it genuinely gets to the point now where there's people that I can't remember if they did or not, because I'm like, well, it's just that year was just such a clear out of people that I don't know anymore. So I'm looking like, are they okay? They fine?
Can't remember. Google is still alive. It's like, yes. Like, oh God, thank goodness.
Thank goodness for that.
Thought you died.
I feel like
Man, oh man.
in the UK, it's a real thing. Whenever there is like a sad occasion like that, I feel like everyone turns to David Attenborough and goes, "You're okay, though, right?
You're fine,
Tell us
though,
you're
right?"
okay."
Yeah.
Like David Attenborough starts trending on Twitter. It's like, oh no, oh God.
Yeah, just collective
no.
panic spreads across the country.
It was like that guy on Jeopardy until he died.
Oh,
It's like, oh, everyone, at least like that lovely man's still kicking. Or like, oh my God, no, it was like Betty White. Where it's like, at least she's still
Betty
alive.
White. And until she wasn't. Oh,
Oh no!
Oh,
love
Oh
Betty
jeez,
White.
we've gone too far into this.
we have. Oh gosh.
Quick, tell us another stress dream.
I did
Lighten the
actually just
mood.
think of. I did
I
think of
love
one, and
that
I
you're
can't remember it.
remembering all of these dreams as you talk about them, though.
I know.
This is great.
The other thing was when you're falling asleep. Do you ever get the thing where you have a little bit of a jolt, like a little?
Yes.
Yes.
A little
A
bit. Ooh.
hypnic jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that one.
So tell me about it. For me, sometimes it's like suddenly I get the sensation like I'm falling, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
I get that. Like it's like I'm falling over usually.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, "Ugh."
yeah. What's that about?
I think it's, I could be completely wrong, but I think it's some sort of primitive mechanism that's supposed to alert us of danger or something like that. But it might just be bollocks. I don't know.
Keep you on your toes.
Yeah. Keep those toes in the brain.
Keep those toes in your ears, touching the brain, poking around.
I looked it up. It says that hypnic is short for hypnagogic. I might be saying that wrong. A word that describes the transition between wakefulness to sleep, which is where these jerks occur, unlike the two that occur in this podcast.
What?
That could be a different name for our podcast if we ever... The hypnic jerks.
The jerk zone.
Oh, it says they typically only affect one side of the body, such as your left arm and left leg. So I wonder if it's like the side that you favor.
Oh,
That makes
interesting.
sense. That's like your
Interesting.
strong fighting side.
Yeah. Get ready to
Yeah, that
punch
I don't know.
whoever's
I am.
intruding.
Punching
They
around.
don't know for certain what causes them, but there are some theories.
Oh. What
They
are the
say-
theories?
Types of myoclonus start in the same part of the brain that
Myoclonus.
controls your startle response. When you fall asleep, it suspects that a misfire sometimes occurs between the nerves, creating a reaction that leads to a jerk.
Interesting.
It's like, right? It's not like it at all, but it just reminded me. Have you ever had it where like you have an itch and you scratch the itch, but then you can feel it on a completely different part of your body. Like you scratch the itch, and then like on the complete other side, you get a little twinge, and it's like, oh, if I touch like my shoulder on the left, then my hip on the right is suddenly just like got a weird feeling there. And scientists, as far as I'm aware, just have no idea why that's a thing.
Whoa.
And because it happens so randomly, they can't like research it because they can't just put someone in a lab and be like, okay, tell me when it happens.
Yeah, right. They'd be there for a long time.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if I've experienced that, but
Really?
maybe I'm just struggling to remember. Yeah.
Huh.
I get it when but I don't get it that like widespread. But there'll be times that I'll say to Alex like, oh, okay, I have an itch on my back. Can you just get it? And then he starts getting it, and I'm like, no, it's moved. It's the other side now. No, now it's at the top. And he's just there like, yeah, sure it is.
Okay.
It's spreading. It's spreading.
I've just got fleas.
They're jumping around. They're migrating with every itch. Yeah.
Oh dear. I remembered earlier going back to the spooky side of things.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went to stay in a hotel. A male friend went to stay in this old spooky hotel, and they put him in this room, I guess when he booked it or whatever, and he had a horrible night's sleep. And he was like
everywhere.
Yeah, like it was genuinely like, he was like, I was freezing. I sensed a presence. There was all this stuff like going on. And in the morning, he went down to reception and was just like, I need to be moved rooms. And apparently they like looked down at his booking and they were like, you shouldn't have been put in that room. I'm sorry, we never put single men in that room. Like you should not have been put there. And he was just like,
no way. No way, because there's like a woman demon there.
Yeah, I think she was like killed by 2 men in that room or something. And then anytime that like they're booked like couples in or like single women, but they were like, yeah, that is a mistake. That shouldn't have happened. And I was just like, I would not have stayed the night in that room if that was it. I would have left and slept in the hallway. Like I wouldn't get.
Yeah, literally.
I'd be in the reception.
That's
10 minutes later.
Yeah, that's when possession occurs. When you let that linger too long.
Yeah.
Something
That's
be
so
up.
creepy. I have to ask my
just-
mum about the time that a scary ghost man was standing over my crib.
Yes, please. How did that end?
I don't know.
Were you stolen?
I think.
Were you raised by him?
Maybe.
Is that your father?
It was Dad. He came back from the store.
Papa.
Papa. I think she got up and she grabbed me. And then like when she grabbed me, like there wasn't anyone there anymore. I think that's how it ended. But it was so long ago that she told me this, but I will have to double check. But yeah, that's the thing. And she said it felt so real. So I feel like maybe it was a sort of maybe sleep paralysis type thing.
I guess
or like a
especially
very
when-
lucid dream.
When you have a baby, you must be like so sleep deprived at that point.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And on edge, too. Like anything could happen to the baby.
Yeah. It's like I remember my dad telling me that when we were little, if ever we seemed to be like sleeping a bit too peacefully, he would just like kick the crib and be like, "You okay?" We'd be like, "We'd be like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, thank goodness you're fine."
Alive. You're alive, yeah. My gosh, that's like remember like when you're staying with your parents in a hotel room and like I don't know, I feel like most dads snore very loud in a weird way. And my dad is one. And he sometimes does a snore when like his nose is plugged, where he goes like, and then just like silent. And then I'm like, oh my God, he's suffocated. And then I go like, and then he goes, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's fine. He's fine. Jesus, Louises. I worried there for a minute.
Yeah. I get it with the bunnies sometimes because they're like, they do these little sleeps where they just flop onto their side and they look like they've just collapsed. And
oh gosh.
I'll be like, oh, look at you. Hang on a minute. And then you just go up and poke them and they're like, oh, you're like, oh, it's okay. Go back to sleep.
I've had that with Tabs before, like where he's just been sleeping so peacefully because he sleeps next to me in bed, like we spoon every night. And I've woken up in the middle of the night and he has been so deep in sleep that he's just been floppy and I'm just like, oh God, oh no. And then he just looks at me like, what are you doing?
Like, what's going on here? Yeah. Oh,
Wait, you get it with ferrets, don't you? They will be like dead to the world.
Oh, yeah.
When they go to
yeah,
sleep.
for sure.
Really? And you can just swing them around?
Yeah.
Ooh.
They're such
That's
weird
dangerous.
little cat socks.
Yeah, stinky too,
Yes.
just like
yeah,
socks.
they are very stinky.
This is unrelated, but I just remembered I was in a shop the other day. You know the cute little Japanese shop in St Nick's Market in Bristol?
Oh yeah, I love
Yes.
that shop.
And
Yes, cute.
it had a thing that was socks for your chair. It was just little socks that you put on the feet of your chair. I was just like,
God.
why?
Why not? Maybe so they don't scratch.
True.
Yeah.
They just
They
slide
just not
along.
be big enough
Slide
for our
everywhere
chairs.
instead.
Yeah.
You just have to use normal socks for your chairs.
True. Oh my gosh.
I love that little shop though. It's so cute.
It is very cute. It is a very cute little shop. I was there looking for Christmas presents, but I got very distracted just looking at everything.
That'll happen. Did you guys have any crazy dreams recently?
Trying to think.
I mean, the craziest one I had recently was that one I told you about when I was asking you to come on about the velociraptor and the field. That one has stuck with me recently. But a lot of our dreams, we come to the conclusion that, and I'd be curious to ask you about this actually.
Yeah.
Because obviously, being streamers and having to talk, interact with chat a lot of the times we'd be like, there was this a faceless just voice that was shouting at me and it was really angry, and we're like, oh, it's chat. Okay, yeah, no, we get it, it's chat.
Oh my
it's
God,
just
that's
chat.
so interesting.
But
it's
have you noticed that since you started streaming yourself with that very funny person on Mondays that you stream?
Yes, Shadow at Noon. I love her. She's so nice and briny.
But have you noticed that, obviously since getting more well known as well, obviously you're a celebrity in yourself with
Little celebrity. Little famous.
has that had an effect on your dreams at all? Have you had more dreams of maybe being perceived and stuff like that, or?
I feel like luckily not so much. I don't know. Maybe it's again a case of not being able to remember, but I think just most of the time, I think just most of my life is regular job. So it feels like, obviously this is not a regular job, but going through the motions, that the stream is every once in a while and doing stuff like that is every once in a while. And I don't look to the comments too often for stuff that I take part in. So that doesn't feel so close at hand, but I can absolutely imagine if you're your whole job is looking at the chat all the time, and especially where you're doing a stream where it's a lot more interactive with chat, because ours I like to look at it, but a lot of the time we're just really engaged with whatever we're doing.
Yeah.
But no, I think the shape of a faceless man representing the qualms of an anonymous person on the internet is really, really interesting. And I feel like that's it doesn't take a book to figure out what that's representing, right?
Exactly. So you haven't had the I'm live and I'm on the toilet dream yet, then?
Oh my God, no. No, I don't think so.
You've got that to look forward to.
Jeez, did you guys both have that?
Yep.
Oh my God. But that makes sense. Yeah.
It's that thing of I guess when you're doing because I guess the streams that you've done, other than the occasional odd ones here and there, I guess it tends to be in a studio setting. Whereas I wonder if, because obviously we're streaming in our houses, maybe it feels slightly more intrusive. There's your real life going on around you, and your room, whichever room your computer's in, things can be seen on the walls and behind you and stuff. So I wonder if that sneaks in, because obviously one of the most personal things you can do is poop. So I guess that's how your brain interprets it. Imagine if they could see you right now.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally fair, because I feel like what I said of this is it's 9 to 5. I go in and I do job and then I go home, and I don't have the unique hours you guys might have. And that makes it feel too, it's when I'm here and doing it, it feels performance time, being creative, entertaining. And then I go home and have the rest of life. So that feels very normal. But I don't know, like the only time I've like pressed the buttons to do the stream on my own was when I was doing like the Minecraft MCC thing. And I like set that all up at home, and I was in my family home too. And so I don't recall if I dreamed about it, but I was certainly a lot more on edge there of like, oh my God, I could just dox. I couldn't, but like, it felt like doxing was nigh.
Yeah.
Or you forget to end the stream and you just end up just doing whatever, going to the toilet or singing or just...
Yeah. Or like the camera falls and it shows like out the window down the street, and then suddenly people with pitchforks start coming down and they're like, we found you. I'm like, no. I don't know who would do that, but
whenever because obviously I do bunny streams in the morning and I do them on my phone. And the number of times that I've finished a stream and then I've been like, okay, I'm going to go to the toilet, and I'm just there like, I'm going to leave my phone really far away. I know it's not live anymore.
Just in case.
Just in case.
There's just chat there like, what's that sound?
Oh, like, God. Gosh, and you better hope that the camera's pointed up.
Well, Blooming Be Real went off when I was on the loo earlier, and I was like, no. I have a friend who will just do it anyway.
I know, I'm sure people do, but I won't. I haven't crossed that line yet.
Yeah,
and I don't
that
plan
real
to.
yet.
Not that real, no. No. Definitely not.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. It's been lovely hearing all about your dreams. I'm glad they kept on coming back to you, which we've sort of found since doing this podcast. I think the more you think about your dreams, the easier it does become to recollect them. And talking about them as well, I think, does make them sneak out into the light a bit more.
Absolutely. And hearing like your guys' dreams, because I mean, obviously that's the book, is people have similar shapes of dreams and their minds go through similar scenarios. And I think you'd be hard pressed to find a dream that the book was like, nah, nobody's had this
You're
thought
on your
before.
own.
So yeah, it is nice to have them like spurred back into the light and be like, oh yeah, I have had regular dreams. Because often I just remember the weird ones.
They stick with me, yeah.
Yeah, but it's nice.
Did we get to the bottom of any of your dreams? Did we help at all?
I think so. Well, it's just nice. It's nice talking about yourself and then people like chiming in and you guys being interpreting them is really nice. It makes me feel nice and cozy. So I appreciate that. Comforted, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, I got
She
there.
said
Don't
the
you worry.
line.
And now I feel like I'm all cozy and warm in a recording room in the office, and I could just lull myself to sleep. Maybe just stay here till tomorrow.
Just go sleep on the sofa. It's fine.
And let us know if you have different dreams in the office.
There'll be weird ones. There'll be strange ones. I wake up and I see Lewis's face before me. And then I rub my eyes. He's gone.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, spooky. He said he went on holiday, but he's here.
It's just a holiday to the office.
Yeah. Holiday from home.
Where can people find you and your amazing work?
I'm not gonna dox myself. I'm not telling people where I am. That's crazy. No, I'm just kidding. I think people can find. I'd just be working at the Yogscast, so you can look at all those things and enjoy it. The social medias, that's me posting those away, and I'm on Twitter at Yogtok _ and on TikTok, I guess.
And also
TikTok sometimes.
You can see Sarah's amazing gamer skills on Mondays 2 to 5 UK time.
Thanks. Well, I assume people, if they're listening to your podcast, they must know.
They have no idea. They're all here for Kirsty.
Oh, no way. No way. For Krusty Doggo.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining. And Kirsty, thank you so much for a lovely chat as always.
Thank you, Bryony, and thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much. It's been very
guys.
lovely, very cozy.
Been wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor. It's an honor.
Well, until next time, everyone. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.